Mic check 1 2 1 2. This is Concept 714, host of WakeTheFlock.net, the #1 hip hop podcast in the world. You are now listening to AD on your radio.
Sundays, I like to just figure out what I want to eat and then Google best whatever. Best pancake, best chicken, best salad, best whatever the hell it is that I want. I want to know what the best is and I want to know where I can go eat it. I love that. The interwebs is so cool for that. I love being able to get knowledge at your fingertips. I love knowing exactly how long it's going to take me to get there given the traffic. All of that is freaking fantastic and wonderful. But one thing that digital media does, Facebook, Google, all of the above, is it brings people together that think alike. Now, that too, in some ways, is incredibly valuable. Look, people that feel alone, I don't know, maybe a gay kid in a small town that gets his ass kicked on a regular basis. Maybe he finds companionship on the internet that makes him feel less alone, more secure, more okay with himself or herself. You ever watch that documentary on bronies? The guys that are into My Little Ponies? The internet has managed to connect them to other people that make them feel at home, comfortable with themselves, when they've been they've been cast out by a lot of their friends and family because they have this particular interest. Not one which I understand, but man, wouldn't it be horrible if you liked a specific cartoon? You really got a lot out of it. And for whatever the hell reason, that made you an outcast. That made people throw things at your car because of the decals on it. Watch that documentary. It's an interesting one. And the internet being able to connect people like that to one another, well, I do believe there's value in that. Also, harebrained people that believe the craziest, most radical, most extreme ideologies, whether it's on the far Christian right or whether it's on the ISIS beheady side of the spectrum, completely the other opposite end of the room. Whatever the case may be, all you got to do is go online and you can find lots of people that agree with you, no matter what the hell it is you think. And what's interesting is the internet. The internet was supposed to be this thing that was supposed to bridge gaps of understanding, bring people as a whole closer together. And now, because everything's so predictive, because Google wants to connect you with things and people that are exactly like you, so you purchase stuff, you're being put in a room full of people, essentially, that think exactly the way you do. And that's kind of boring. With all this emphasis being placed on being an individual, being connected to a room full of people, being put in touch with a room full of people that keep you in this bubble, keep you in this area where your mind isn't thinking, it isn't learning, it isn't understanding beyond a person's experience who is basically the exact same as you. Well, you're not really growing a whole lot as a result of it, are you? No, you're not. So I would encourage you to seek out people that you maybe don't agree with. I would encourage you to maybe talk to people whose ideologies are a little different than yours and celebrate those differences and realize that they are what makes us as a species great. And we can't let Google, as nifty as it is, take that away from us. Too much agreement kills a chat. Eldridge Cleaver.
Buddy, rolling up in H-Town, always hot enough to do it with the top down. Cool breeze, palm trees, tonight it's all good in the 713. Whoa, 713, whoa, 713, whoa, 713. I live in 212, now live in 713. Well, here I am, with the H-Town jam. Came to the city with a master plan. H-Town is my home wherever I'm at home. I return to the land of the Astrodome. People who like Ice by TV Johnny. Treat you the same if you don't got money. No one hardly ever gonna look at you funny. 8 days out of 10, it is always sunny. 7 to the 1, 1 to the 2. Come on everybody, rep the city for me. 7 to the 1, 1 to the 3. Come on everybody, rep the city for me. Whoa, 713, whoa, 713, whoa, 713. ass kid from the 212. From New York City, so gritty, I'm steady coming at you. But I got that south in my mouth, I immigrated, I made it. And in the H I can shine, in NYC I was faded. New York to H-Town is a move I made. East Coast to Third Coast, and I'm glad I stayed. New York, that's where all my dues were paid. But now in H-Town, I got it made. 7 to the 1, 1 to the 2. Come on, everybody, rep the city for me. 7 to the 1, 1 to the 2. Come on, everybody, rep the city for me. Whoa, 713, whoa, 713, whoa, 713. I live in 212, I live in 713, whoa, 713, whoa, 713, whoa, 713. I live in 212, I live in 713, whoa. City for me, 7 to the 1, 1 to the 3. Come on, everybody, rep the city for me. Whoa, 713, whoa, 713, whoa, 713. I live in 212, now live in 713, whoa, 713, whoa, 713, whoa, 713. I live in 212, now live in 713, whoa, 713, whoa, 713, whoa.
iHeartRadio shines the spotlight on Peter Frampton.
In 1975, the release of Frampton gave the world a taste of what was to come. The album went to 32 in the U.S. charts and went gold. This was followed up in 1976 with the very successful live album, Frampton Comes Alive, recorded at San Francisco's famed Winterland. The resulting publicity and multi-million-dollar grossing tour made Peter Frampton an international superstar and launched 3 hit singles, Do You Feel Like We Do, Baby I Love Your Way, and Show Me the Way.
I want you, show me the way, every day. I want you, show me the way, night and day. I want you.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more Peter Frampton and all your favorite artists.
iHeartRadio goes one-on-one with Bob Seger to discuss his favorite process for developing new songs.
The way I do it, I sing into an ADAT machine, which has about 40 minutes. I might fill up 2 or 3 of them. Then I just go away, come back the next day, and listen to what I did. If there's nothing there, I start again. But I might hear one chord change. I might hear one thing I mumbled lyrically and say, oh, I never even caught that when I did it. You know, it's like just totally a free-form thing, almost a jazz thing. And sooner or later, you know, a structure, a chord structure, or a phrase, or the way I sang something jumps out at me and it becomes the germ for a song, you know? And that's really fun.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more Bob Seger and all your favorite artists.
This is the 80s Show on iHeartRadio.
Let's start the show. Come on, let's go. Come on, let's go. Say ho, ho. Say ho, whoa, ho, whoa. Let's start the show. Let's start the show. Let's start the show. Let's start the show.
Oh, you know, Funkhauser and I took the week of the 4th of July off, and there could not have been, in the world of news talk, a week with more to talk about. Between Donald Trump, between that whole gay marriage becoming legal thing, it was a maelstrom, if I may use a word from science fiction. Is that right? Maelstrom? There's a lot of stuff going on. There was a lot of stuff going on, and we're going to do our very best to catch up on it today. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the news. Funkhauser, how are you? How is your 4th of July holiday? And what is going on in the world?
Let us count our fingers and toes together this morning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Awesome. We're luckier than that guy that got too drunk over the weekend, decided to launch a bottle rocket or something off of his head in Rhode Island.
Oh, yeah, who died. Like, straight up killed himself by doing... I mean, admittedly, he killed himself by doing something that wasn't the brightest, but tried to launch a firework off his head, kicked the bucket. Shout out to all the EMTs that spent the last couple of days wrapping stumps. And let us all bear in mind, let us all spare a thought for the fact that right now, proctologists across the country are treating burns caused by bottle rockets, beer, and very, very, very poor life decisions, and we salute them.
Doctors this morning are having meetings trying to figure out how to sew that back together.
Oh, God. Did you launch any fireworks of your own?
Nah, but it was like a war zone. Did you? Now, I had never heard the constant rumble of fireworks like I heard in the San Gabriel Valley of Southern California this past weekend. It was just, It sounded like I should be wearing a green screen, one of those green camera things, and it was like 1991 Cold War era. Everywhere, just bombs bursting.
And the bombs bursting in air?
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you do anything down there?
Well, I saw a fireworks display, and
really?
It was.
Oh, you mean like
impressive.
up in the air? Like they don't sell them down there, do they?
No, I didn't see any for sale. But like I saw a fireworks display, and it was pretty impressive. And once or twice, it looked as though things exploded while they were still on the ground. Like it was like right there in front of you. Like I was like, is that a low flying one or was that a mistake? And I came to the conclusion it was a mistake. So it was really weird. It was like there was a firework going off in your backyard. It was like that close where you could reach out and touch it. And it was just like, that doesn't seem right. Oh, I guess they're going to continue with the show. All right, then. Fine. Did you see that thing floating around the interwebs of a computer? Because I guess all fireworks shows are done by computer now. And there was a fireworks display where accidentally, because of a computer glitch, all 7,000 fireworks went off at once on the ground.
Yeah.
That's classic stuff.
I like all my fireworks at once, please.
Yeah.
I ain't got time for no thing like that.
but yeah, it was. Oh man!
I'll tell you what I saw this year that I didn't see last year.
What?
Drones.
Oh, people like wanting to capture aerial fireworks.
Yep.
Yeah, everyone's got a drone now. It used to be this thing that was reserved for news channels and the military, and now everyone's got one. You can get one for like $500. Put your GoPro on that thing, and like a buddy of mine is all hacked off because he does. He's a professional photographer, and he was like, I'm offering aerial wedding shots, so you can zoom in from the bride and groom from a great distance. And it really does look pretty insane. It looks like, the opening shots of, one of those 80s soap operas like Dallas or something like that, where you're pulling in from a great height. And it's something that you would have needed a helicopter in the past for, and now you use just a $500 drone. And he was like, yes, I do drone photography. I'm very special and exciting. And then everybody got a drone for Christmas. He was like, what the hell, man? Now I can't sell my drone services. Sucks. But yeah, no, you're right. I did see a lot more drones than I ever have in the past. Sort of like people going, I'm going to fly it into the fireworks. So I wonder how many people lost their $500 drones. Well, we'll have to wait and see. All right, then. Let's chat about the events of today. What's going on in the world, Funkhauser?
NBC has cut all ties with Donald Trump after his controversial remarks about Mexican immigrants.
Well, does he really need him anymore? I don't think so. Donald doesn't need NBC. I'm fairly certain at this stage in the game his hair could get its own show on Animal Planet. I wonder...
Tonight on an all-new episode of Donald Trump's hair. Donald Trump's hair gets stuck in the cat box again.
Forget the remarks he made that were perceived as being racist. I think the real reason Mexican immigrants are afraid of Donald Trump is because the thing on top of his head looks like a chupacabra. Oh, God. All right. We're going to talk a little bit more about Trump in depth because he's a very interesting and polarizing figure at this stage in the game. And, we'll get into more Trump later. What else is going on?
A woman in England says her size 38 double J boobies saved her from a car accident.
Yep. Seen the pictures. Doctor said she would have been dead. Doctor said she wouldn't be dead if she wasn't packing such wildly gargantuan feminine hood ornaments. She went through a car window, and they basically acted like her own airbags. This woman in England, her 38 double J breasts saved her life in a car accident. Ironically, had it not been a car wreck, had it been a motorboating accident, someone would have died.
Yeah. Good.
That's a little... that was a little creepy.
Yeah.
Did you just do that because you couldn't find the Karate Kid? It's on
I was going on
Thinking?
an adventure there. On a motorboat.
You should
through treacherous waters.
It'll kill the fantasy if you look up picture and video of this woman.
I wonder if she had to go in for repairs afterwards.
Her 38 double J breasts, which are natural, are in proportion with the rest of her rather gargantuan body.
Natural.
Natural.
Oh.
But she's a large woman. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm sure there's lots of people who are very into that.
Depends on what planet you live on. It's all relative.
Well, I mean, as evidenced by the fact that she was in the car with her 2 kids, I think. Yeah, there you go.
Is that what she calls them?
Very good, very good. Let's move right along.
Jeremy Renner, the guy who plays Hawkeye in The Avengers, he addressed rumors that he's gay.
I think he said something to the effect of, if you saw how much time Thor spends on his hair, you wouldn't be questioning me. If there is a gay Avenger, I would have to say my money's on the Hulk. The smashing reeks of overcompensation.
I met a girl who was dating the Hulk's son.
What?
I met some girl that was all infatuated with the Hulk's son. What was the original Hulk's name? What was his name? I forget.
The guy who played him on TV, Lou Ferrigno?
Yeah, Lou Ferrigno Jr. apparently is out there somewhere,
smashing.
Smashing.
And she's dating Lou Ferrigno Jr.?
She seems to be. She seems to think she is.
It's like that. It's like that Mitch Hedberg line. I don't have a girlfriend. I just have a girl that would be really pissed off if she heard me say that right now. Go on.
Avril Lavigne says, having Lyme disease was, quote, literally the worst time of my life, unquote.
Yeah. Avril Lavigne's kind of become a spokesperson for the awfulness that is Lyme disease. Apparently it comes with all sorts of stuff that you don't necessarily... Like, nobody really knows about Lyme disease until they have it, but there's stuff that it does that makes people think you're insane. Do you remember back in the day there was a character... Not a character, like one of the people on The Real World. Do you remember that? There was one of the people on The Real World had Lyme disease. Do you remember this? And
was it Puck?
People
I only care about Puck. And Puck
no, it wasn't
news.
Puck. It was a girl. I can't remember. I think it was a girl. I think she had curly dark hair. I think she was the Remember, there was a girl with curly dark hair that was slapped by one of the black guys on the show. I think it was the curly dark haired girl that got slapped by the black guy. But anyway, I think she had Lyme disease, and people were like, she's acting really weird. She's being really strange. What's up with her? Meh. And like, apparently, some of the side effects of Lyme disease are not just physical; they're mental, and it can be confused with craziness. So, people, you'll be complaining of some sort of malaise, and people will think you're crazy because you're acting all weird because of your Lyme disease. But yeah, Avril Lavigne has kind of become a spokesperson for the Lyme disease experience, saying it was literally the worst time of my life. And remember, this is Avril Lavigne we're talking about here. Literally the worst time of her life. That carries some weight and significance because bear in mind, this is a woman who listened to Nickelback's Rough Demos.
Yeah.
Go on.
Chris Christie officially announced his presidential campaign yesterday.
Yeah. At least I think he did. It was hard to understand him with a half-chewed Hot Pocket in his mouth. Yeah, people were stoked about it. The announcement was met with thunderous applause. Or maybe that was just the sound of his jowls slapping against his neck when he talked. Oh, God. And the Republican nomination race turns into an even bigger clown car show.
It's
What
almost
else?
a baker's dozen.
Oh, God.
A teenage Pizza Hut worker in Lexington, Kentucky, was fired.
Yeah, I saw this. Go on,
He
finish
was
the story.
fired after he was photographed by a customer masturbating while working the drive-through window.
Yeah, and it wasn't like he was just, it couldn't be confused with anything else. Like, he was like elbow deep in his own pants as he was taking people's orders.
No, today you're going to take my order.
Yeah. Feel free to insert your own meat lovers joke wherever you feel is appropriate. It's pretty gross. Could have been worse, though. They could have seen their hot dog stuffed crust pizza. Please continue.
A marijuana-themed radio station debuted in Colorado this month, and I just put in my 2-week notice. Yeah.
That sound you hear in the background is various members of the air staff around here frantically filling out applications. It's like a regular radio station, except the morning show hits the air bright and early at 2 p.m.
Every 7 minutes, they say, what were we just talking about?
It's the only radio station in all of America where 100% of the commercial spots are for pizza parlors that deliver. Go on.
A pyramid-like structure was spotted on a distant planet called Ceres.
Yeah. Did you see this?
No.
NASA have observed 3-mile-high pyramids on Ceres. Ceres is like, it's so old.
How old is it?
Well, no, I mean, I don't have a joke for that.
Sorry,
but no, it's known as being a fossil planet. Like, it's known, it's ancient beyond compare. It's like supposedly part of one of the oldest parts of the universe that still exists that we've been able to make contact with. But there's they've spotted pyramids on this distant ancient planet called Ceres. Scientists, I think, are calling it proof that distant planets have ecosystems that can support miniature golf.
Hey, Lenny, watch this shot. I bet I can get it on Ceres from here.
Go on.
66-year-old Billy Joel married his 34-year-old girlfriend on Saturday.
Yeah. Oh, it's a love story for the ages. She hot? Let's find a picture.
She has to be. I mean, come on.
I don't know. The age gap kind of
Billy Joel, hot wife. How's that?
No, she's not that hot.
Oh. Well, at least hopefully she takes good care of him.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with her, certainly. But oh yeah, I think wasn't this the one she wasn't she a waitress at a restaurant in Long Island or something like that? Ooh, there's a picture of him and her and his daughter. That's an unfortunate thing for his daughter, to be the daughter of Billy Joel and Christy Brinkley and look like Billy Joel.
USA Headline News. I'm Kelly Sloan. The Greek Prime Minister says Greece will present new proposals to its creditors. This comes after the Greek people voted no to austerity in yesterday's referendum. Meanwhile, the head of the Eurozone says he wants the country to stay in the European currency, but that may not happen, according to European Parliament President Martin Schulz.
18 other members of the Eurozone agreed about the proposals, to which the Greek people said no. This is democracy in Greece.
Soon, many Greeks may not be able to access their money, according to analyst Megan Green.
Greek banks have about 500 million euros in liquidity right now, as of today, and Greeks are withdrawing about 300 million euros a day. So unless those capital controls are tightened, Greek banks will be out of cash entirely in a matter of days.
And the crisis is affecting the U.S. stock market. The Dow, S&P, and NASDAQ have been down in early trading. This is USA Headline News.
In the beginning, man had to painstakingly brave the elements and scale the highest mountains just to deliver the good news.
Hear ye! Hear ye!
Now they just go to ChristianPress.com. It's fast, affordable, and much easier on the joints. Quickly and painlessly deliver your message with ChristianPress.com. ChristianPress.com connects you directly to thousands of journalists, media outlets, news networks, and social media platforms, ensuring your message hits the mark. Every time, your audio and digital content will be professionally produced, so your business or organization's message stands head and mountains above the rest. So reach your target market and get the results you need with ChristianPress.com or call 316-644-6185. That's 316-644-6185.
Friends, Romans, and countrymen, lend me your...
Okay, Skippy, you can get off the mountain now. We found ChristianPress.com. Spread your good news. Visit ChristianPress.com.
It's trending.
Some breaking news from golf, where world number one ranked player Rory McIlroy posted a picture on Instagram with his left foot in a walking boot, saying he suffered a total rupture of his left ankle ligament and suffered joint capsule damage playing soccer with friends over the weekend. His status for next week's Open Championship, where he's the defending champ, is in serious doubt. Soccer Women's World Cup final, USA rolls over Japan 5-2. Harley Lloyd, the hero for the U.S., with 3 goals in the first half.
Honestly, I'm so proud of this team. This doesn't feel real. It hasn't sunk in. So unbelievably proud of every single person on this team. We just made history, and we're a part of it.
It's the 3rd Women's World Cup title for the U.S. NASCAR Dale Earnhardt Jr. won the rain-delayed race at Daytona that didn't finish until Monday morning. In baseball games of note, it was the Orioles beating the White Sox 9-1, while the Rays knocked off the Yankees 8-1. Baltimore moves a game back in New York in the battle for first place in the AL East. I'm Eddie Garcia.
We are Buckhorse!
iHeartRadio shines the spotlight on Def Leppard. 3 Pyromania songs, Photograph, Rock of Ages, and Foolin', became top 40 singles in the U.S. The band intended to follow Pyromania quickly, but were derailed when the drummer Rick Allen lost an arm in a car accident, the first of many problems that plagued the group's career. They managed to pull through such tragedies and even expanded their large audience with 1987's blockbuster Hysteria. To date, it has 12 times platinum certified sales in the U.S., spawning 6 hit singles, including Hysteria, Armageddon It, Animal, Rocket, Love Bites, and Pour Some Sugar on Me. Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more Def Leppard and all your favorite artists. iHeartRadio goes one-on-one with Mike Rutherford to talk about why he felt the documentary Genesis, Sum of the Parts, was worthy of production.
People forget from that one band, school band, you had the Gabriel career, the Collins, the Mechanics career, and then you put songs together. This is the key. You see a list of songs and you kind of go, In the Air Tonight, Invisible Touch, Living Years, Biko, and you kind of go, that's a great combination of songwriting. And so in a way, this documentary tries to sort of cement that a little bit. Because I meet people still these days who say to me, you mean you're the Mike and the Mechanics? They don't tie it in all the time. So in a way, this documentary, I think, helps do that.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more Mike Rutherford and all your favorite artists.
Go ahead. Favorite the show and enjoy AD on the go. iHeartRadio presents AD.
Yeah, so 66-year-old Billy Joel married his 34-year-old girlfriend on Saturday. After the vows, I believe Billy said, I do. And his fiance, I think she meant to say I do, but it came out more like ka-ching. Go on. News.
You know that guy, P. Diddy? He's in songs
I'm aware of the P. Diddy, yes.
He's in songs going, yeah, come on. That guy?
Most definitely.
He won't be charged with his kettle ball assault that happened last couple weeks ago.
Yeah, his son plays college football. He was watching a practice. The coach was unnecessarily tough on his son, he felt, so he swung a kettleball at his head. Seems reasonable. But he's not going to be charged. So, the worst thing he's done involving the police still remains sampling every breath you take. God, that was not good.
Bad boy forever.
You know what I find that it's kind of interesting about that, though? Like, Sting's on it, and you'd think, why? Why would he do that? Why? But I read an interview with Miles Copeland, guy who used to manage Sting and ran IRS records before he died. And Miles Copeland, who is Stuart Copeland, the Police drummer's brother, he said the cool thing about working with Sting was he'll do anything. He really is open to trying anything, and it doesn't matter how ridiculous it looks or sounds. He'll be like, he said, what? He said Sting's reaction when you ask him to do something ridiculous is like, what? No, okay. Like, he kind of doesn't care, and he does it, which explains how the Police remix thing happened. Also, it was for a dead guy, you know? If P. Diddy comes to you and says, hey, I'd like to use your song to memorialize someone who is, at this point, a national hero that was taken from us too soon, I think you go, yeah, okay, cool. We'll deal. What else?
Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner took their kids to the Bahamas.
Yeah, even though they're in the midst of a divorce, the two did look miserable and barely spoke. So, a lot like other families on vacation. Same old drill as usual. What else?
Justin Bieber says he encountered a shark while swimming in Australia.
Yeah. The fact that he's alive to tell the story, for me, pretty much seals the deal and proves that there is no God. Justin Bieber encounters a shark and lives. F that guy. Go on.
Turns out that Paris Hilton she was in on the fake Egyptian plane crash video. She was faking.
Yeah, she was faking it. It was supposed to look like she was being pranked, but she was in on the prank. And yeah, you can see it for yourself by Googling Paris Hilton and going down and then scrolling to about page 8 trillion.
What is happening? Are we going to die? Oh!
Did you ever watch the Paris Hilton sex tape?
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Let me check my phone. Yeah, okay.
So unremarkable. Go on.
Hey, I like the green colors. That's fun. Matt Stoney won Nathan's hot dog eating contest on Saturday by downing 62 hot dogs.
Yeah, sorry, Joey Chestnut. He did not win his 9th straight title. You can learn more about it today in today's edition of News That's Fun to Tell Vegans. A publication of which I am editor. After having been a vegan for 12 years, I derive great pleasure, and especially when I'm that lapsed vegan. It's like someone that fell off the wagon. If I meet anyone from back in the day and we go out to dinner that used to know me when we were both vegans, because I don't know, I don't know what it was, but for a while everyone I knew was either vegetarian or vegan. And now no one. But I think you just attract like people into your life, and the whole vegetarianism thing is a pretty good example of that, because back in the day, all my friends were vegetarian or vegan or something like that, and now none of them. Now that I eat meat, I hang out with other meat eaters. It's weird, but when I do run into vegans from days gone by and we have lunch together, I make sure to get the rarest, bloodiest steak possible and be like, oh yeah, this is what I do now. Feel great. Feel great.
So you used to be a vegan editor? That seems like a paradox.
No.
Right?
No, a vegan editor?
Vegan editor. You can edit out the meat of things?
Right. No. No, I would just be... News That's Fun to Tell Vegans, I would happily apply for the job editing that particular periodical. Today I ate a steak, page 1. It was delicious, page 2. Now I'm looking at pictures of baby cows, thinking that they'll make delicious steaks. Page 3. Go on.
Green Bay tight end Andrew Quarles was busted in Miami for firing a gun in public.
Yeah. Green Bay tight end. Poor guy. If there's anything that you don't want to be in jail, it's a Packer.
And a tight end, no less.
Yeah. Well, he'll come out. He goes in a tight end. He'll come out a wide receiver. Go on.
So you heard about Greece, right? Greece's
in
economy?
what respect? Oh, it's not good. It's
Yeah.
really, really terrible.
One wonders if there's some kind of mathematical calculation that would help Greece's economy survive.
What you mean, like some kind of Grecian formula? All right, one last piece of news.
The United States surpassed Spain to become the second largest Spanish-speaking country in the world.
Right. So mixed news day for racists who need tile work done. Oh, well, too bad, so sad. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Last piece of news.
President Obama said peas should not be included in guacamole. When I read this news, I died a little.
Peas and guacamole. Why'd you die a little?
I had no idea they were filling my guacamole with filler.
Yeah.
I feel cheapened.
Yeah. Oh, well, Obama has spoken on this. He said peas should not be included in guacamole. So, yeah. He's still got really important stuff to deal with during his 2 years in office. Okay. Let's talk about flags and hate. And let's talk about flags and hate and Donald Trump. John Schneider from the Dukes of Hazzard. Was he Luke or he was Bo Duke, I think. He was a blonde one. He's ripping on TV Land for yanking Dukes of Hazzard because of the Confederate flag. TV Land pulled Dukes of Hazzard reruns last week because Bo and Luke's car has a Confederate flag on the roof, and now Bo himself is ripping him for it.
iHeartRadio puts the spotlight on Green Day. After some time off, Green Day made a major comeback with 2004's rock opera American Idiot. The album sold over 6 million copies and was adapted into a Broadway musical. Their next studio album, 2009's 21st Century Breakdown, was also a rock opera and hit #1 in the US, Europe, and the UK, making it Green Day's best charting album. At the end of 2012, Green Day released a trilogy of albums, Uno, Dos, and Tre, marking the official addition of Jason White to the band after touring with them since 1999. However, the third album's release was delayed due to Armstrong entering rehab for alcohol and prescription medication. When Armstrong completed rehab, the band toured throughout 2013 to support the 3 albums. They also released a compilation of demos from Uno, Dos, and Tre in 2014 under the title Demolicious. All things Green Day, info, music, and more are on iHeartRadio, keyword Green Day.
iHeartRadio goes one-on-one with Mike Rutherford to discuss that even though there were generational difficulties, his father was always quite supportive.
You know, you've got to understand, I'm sure it's the same over here, but in the UK, in England, you know, that generational change from my father's era to my era, you know, he was the English Empire days, 2 world wars. It was hard to communicate. There was a big divide between us. It's just, there was no dialogue really. You couldn't discuss things because there was no sort of platform to share conversations on. But no, he was supportive, and in a way, you know, given that he hadn't got a clue what I was doing, you know, what parent did in those days, you know, music, long hair and a guitar, he was given that. He was very supportive.
Keep listening to iHeartRadio for more Mike Rutherford and all your favorite artists.
Delivering fascinating subjects, interesting talk, and boobs and fart jokes. AD on iHeartRadio.
Yeah, oh, let's go. Talking that mess, better act like you know. Oh, let's go tonight. Walk away, punk, yeah, bitch. That's right, I know this. You're nothing but a punk, bitch. You're nothing but a punk, bitch. So walk away, yeah, yeah.
John Schneider. John Schneider. Bo Duke from the Dukes of Hazzard. You watch the Dukes of Hazzard growing up, Funkhauser? No? Just some good old boys never meaning no harm? Anyways. TV Land has yanked Dukes of Hazzard reruns. as of last week because Bo and Luke's car has a Confederate flag on the roof. And now John Schneider, Bo himself, is ripping on him for it. He posted a YouTube rant about it with the title, "Can't We All Just Watch TV?" He said that pulling one of the most popular TV shows of all time off of the air is silly and calls it an error in judgment. He also tweeted a photo last week of the South Carolina church shooter wearing a Gold's Gym shirt and burning an American flag with the caption, "Is the Gold's Gym logo to be considered a symbol of racism as well now?" Obviously, he was joking. All of this, now he's concerned about it because, well, this is his legacy. It's not like John Schneider has really been lighting up our lives ever since the Dukes of Hazzard. Let's see. What else has he been in? Well, let's have a look-see. Welcome to the new official website of John Schneider. Yeah, I think we're going to get slightly more accurate take on events of his life if we go to Wikipedia. Let's see. He's best known for the American television series Dukes of Hazzard. Oh, he was in Smallville in 2001. And he played something. He was Jim in the television series The Haves and Have-Nots, created by Tyler Perry. So, yeah, like we said, ain't exactly lighting the world on fire at the moment, John Schneider. And, well, probably a little worried about his Bo Duke legacy being snuffed out. And the syndication money that goes with it, that back-ended syndication cash that he gets from it was probably paying off a large portion of his mortgage. So he has good reason to be upset. I'm going to go out on a limb and guess that his reasons are less political and more personally motivated for being all upset about it. But the fact remains the same. The fact remains that... Oh, well, hold on. Let's just wrap this up for a second. let's just point out the fact that all of this has been good for DVD sales. So I'm sure he gets a piece off the back end, but not nearly as much as if your likeness is being used by TV lands in perpetuity through syndication. But yeah, DVD sales have been good. People started buying Dukes of Hazzard DVDs like crazy after TV Land stopped airing the show. And as of last night, seasons 2, 3, 5, 6, and 7 were all on Amazon's 10 bestsellers list. And season 4 was 13th. By the way, golfer Bubba Watson owns one of the original General Lee cars from the show. And he tweeted last Thursday that he's planning to paint over the Confederate flag and put an American flag on there instead. Look, the ramifications of the rebel flag, and we've discussed this at length on the show, so we're not going to get too far into it at this stage in the game, but the ramifications of the rebel flag are a deeply personal thing. I myself, well, I grew up in England. And my one connection with the rebel flag was, hey, that's the thing on the roof of the General Lee's car. And then I noticed a couple guys in bands had it on their guitars. I think the guitar player Leonard Skinner had it. I think that Zakk Wylde from Ozzy Osbourne's band had a rebel flag guitar. I'm not sure. But either way, which is funny because Zakk Wylde's kind of like this hero of the South. I think he identifies well with Southern rock. For whatever the hell reason. He's from New Jersey, yet has the rebel flag guitar that he's all into. I think he does. Don't quote me on this. I think he has a rebel flag guitar. Either or. A flag is a piece of cloth. It's a painting. And while I believe that the flag as a symbol can be offensive to certain folks, and while I don't really have a problem with it being banned from government buildings, places like that. I mean, look, if you want to fly one in your yard, that's on you. If other people find it offensive, if other people find it, it doesn't matter. It's like the swastika. Let's take the swastika. The swastika, I don't know if you know this, actually comes from an ancient Indian tradition. And the swastika was a symbol of peace and oneness and continuity of life. But it was misappropriated by the Nazis. And a swastika has an entirely different meaning to it now. You remember, this is really going back there, but there was a band called Kula Shaker. Do you remember them? You remember them in the, I think they came out in the late 90s. Yeah, Tattva. Chenga Vega Vega Tattva. They took like a Buddhist, a Hindu chant and turned it into a hit song. Good for them. Well, they identified with, I think, Hinduism as a religion, and initially the symbol of the swastika came from the Hindu. And when they had their, I think the lead singer's name was Crispin Funkhauser. To Google, can you find out what the name of the lead singer of Kula Shaker was? This is a 90s wormhole that'll take forever to get out from.
That's how I lost my Monday.
Yeah, and that's how you lost your Monday. I wonder what the lead singer of Kula Shaker's up to now. Do you have his name?
Crispin Mills.
I knew it was Crispin.
Good for you.
Thank you very much. I don't know how I knew that. I know 2 songs by them. It was so funny because Kula Shaker had 2 songs, 2 hits, and one of them was Tattva, which was, I think, a Hindu prayer set to their music, and it was deeply spiritual and sounded like the Beatles in places, and was sort of soul-searching and ethereal and all the things that you would expect a Hindu prayer sent to 90s rock music to be. And they went from that to their second song was called Hey Dude. It was like they went from being deeply soul-searching, ethereal Hinduist types to Hey Dude. Anyways, they had 2 hits. And they might have had a third, too, if their lead singer, Crispin Mills, hadn't inadvertently torpedoed the band's career by wearing a swastika out and about. And he was wearing a swastika armband, and people were like, yeah, Nazis, that's not okay. What the hell you think you're doing? And he was like, well, what people don't understand is that the symbol of the swastika comes from the Hindu, and it's actually a very positive thing that was taken by the Nazis to mean something horrible, and it was misappropriated, and I'm taking it back. Be that as it may, the initial and ancient meaning of the swastika might have been a positive thing. But the overall perception of it, not so much. The overall perception of it is like, ooh, that's a symbol of maniacal genocide. That's a symbol of something that was so terrible, we want it to never, ever happen again on this earth as long as any of us live. And there might be someone somewhere capable of reclaiming the symbol of the swastika and turning it into a symbol of peace and positivity as it was originally intended to be in the Hindu, as opposed to the symbol of maniacal genocide that it became. There might be a person that's capable of doing that. But as it turns out, not Crispin Mills from Kula Shaker. And I bring this up because, well, and you'll notice he had 2 hits. After the whole swastika thing, yeah, people not so much buying the records anymore. Go figure. But you will notice that it doesn't matter what the original intent of the symbol was. It doesn't matter what it means to you. It matters what it means to the people that are going to look at it. And if you're happy hanging a rebel flag sign outside of your home, then cool. If it really does to you mean heritage, not hate, then awesome. But you're going to have this conversation over and over again where you go, oh, heritage, not hate. And guess what? The people that you have to talk to about this are probably not going to be all that calm about the whole situation. So, are you willing to put yourself into a world of, I'm not even going to call it hurt, I'm going to call it inconvenience over a flag, over a rebel flag, and what it means to you? Maybe you are, and God bless you if you are, and that's an awesome thing. But we bring this up because, look, the rebel flag means some things to some people, and it is a symbol of hate to a lot of people, and it is a symbol distinctly of racism to some people. And, well, actually, AD, if you look in your history books, you'll see that, no. If I look at my history books, I'll see perhaps contradictory information to that, but the fact remains that it's a whole can of worms that I don't feel like opening. Don't feel like opening because I know that it's going to offend, hurt some people. Now, this whole thing of us living in a wussified culture where everybody's offended about everything, yes, that is a problem. But I pick my battles wisely. And my battles do not involve the rebel flag. It is wildly stupid for the folks over at TV Land to yank Dukes of Hazzard because of that. Because of the rebel flag on top of the General Lee. Just blur it out. I don't know. Who cares? Not me. Don't care enough about the Dukes of Hazzard. Don't care enough about the flag. If the flag means something to you, then by all means, you go out and you fly it, and you have the protracted conversation about what it means to you every single time someone calls you on it. Is it worth that much? I don't know. But I do know this, though. All this brouhaha over the flag doesn't change a effing thing about the people that were gunned down at the South Carolina church. Doesn't change an effing thing. And let's be crystal clear on this particular point. Those people were not gunned down and killed because of the flag. The flag was used as a symbol, as a representation of the hate crime that was being perpetuated in that particular instance. But no, not so much. The flag was not responsible for it. And the fact that there's been so much talk about the flag, the fact that there's been so many instances of things like TV Land pulling the Dukes of Hazzard off TV because of the flag, because of that, it just goes to show that we are in no way, shape, or form looking at the more pertinent issue. It goes to show that we are a society that would love to be distracted with small, petty instances of, well, we're majoring in the minor things here. The flag has nothing to do with the very real problem. The flag did not cause the problem. The flag did not cause a psychotic kid to go out and gun down people in a church in an effort to start a race war. That is a problem. That is something that should be occupying our time and our dialogue. That is the sort of thing that we should be focusing our energies on and trying to understand why and how something like this happens, trying to understand why and how something like this is even possible. Instead, we have to hear washed-up 80s has-beens like John Schneider whining that he's not going to get his syndication cash anymore because we're so hell-bent on wiping the memory of the flag from the face of the planet. Which will achieve absolutely nothing. Thanks so much for hanging out. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll do it all over again.